Hello? Weird. Okay. Hi, hello. Sorry, a little bit of a late start today. So I actually okay. I actually got on a phone with someone who actually knew what they were talking about for audio today. So a little bit late coming to stream because after that I was like getting some food because I ate some food, but it was like in a hurry, so I took my time to eat, a proper meal, and like actually set up for stream. But yeah, I learned a lot. Sometimes sometimes you just have to like really sit down with a professional to kind of see the gap in your knowledge and like where they're at. You know what I mean? Like I don't does that make sense? Um Also, I just realized I think my audio on the stream deck is flipped. I set some icons, but I think I flipped it because I told you guys yesterday, right? My stream deck like reset itself, so I had to like redo some of the settings. I kind of redid it, but I think it's still a little bit messed up. Um, but yeah. So it I mean, been working on the audio stuff for a year now. Been stumbling my way through it. So I feel like I have learned a bit that I could follow what, the guy was talking about, and I was like, yeah, all of that makes sense. I understand. I know these words. I've heard them used in this context before. It it's still, some of it was still like, oh, I don't know, and but he did help me make it a little bit more concrete because a lot of times, I don't know if you guys are like really into audio editing or anything, but a lot of the times people are like, yeah, use your ears. And I'm like, it would be great if I knew what my ears could be used to listen for. Because, like, I'll give you guys an example. When I first started last year, I was recording and I was editing my audios, of course, because your girl don't got money to pay someone to edit her audios. And you guys know how I kind of had to migrate to my like ASMR specific channel, right? And I thought as a little hee hee ha ha funsy project that I would take my old recordings and I would re-edit them. Kind of how I do now, after kind of learning all of the audio stuff that I had for the past, like, 6-7 months. And it's still like this gradual learning process, right? It's not anything that you one day just know all of it. It's like you're constantly learning and constantly like tweaking things to make it better. And just even going back to my recording from 6 months ago and seeing how I edited it then, and then coming back and listening and re-editing it, like I could actually hear, like I would flip the EQ or I would flip certain plugins on and I could hear the difference. And that's because over time you're training your ears, right, to know what to look for, but they have to know what to look for first. And so a lot of it was like me telling him, yeah, can you just like point out what I'm listening for? And so I think he did try to do that, and I could hear it in the recordings that he was doing, so that was good. It was like a really good like practice for me too, to kind of like understand where my gap in knowledge is, and then time to do some like market research and stuff. Tangentially related, everyone take care of your hearing health. Wear earplugs when you practice music. Should I get earplugs? I don't wear earplugs when I play violin. Should I wear earplugs on my left ear? I don't know. Maybe I should. Is there any both? Oh, like is there like specific earplugs, or do I just like go to the CVS and get some earplugs? Like what should I do? Custom earplugs? What if I got like cute little custom ones? No, that sounds expensive. Anyways, so that was my day. Like literally work, and then I like rushed home. And like the one day I needed to be home on time, I was like California traffic literally hates me. Hates me specifically. Okay, because the one day that I need to get home on time for like this consultation, there was so much traffic and I literally got home like 10 minutes before I was meeting with the person, and I was like, I need to eat, I need to shove just food in my mouth. So I like quickly toasted some bread, and then I had to like message him and be like, I'm sorry, can we start like 5 minutes later? I apologize for your time. I'm so sorry. It was terrible, but luckily all was good. It was all okay, I think, in the end. But yes, welcome in. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Hello, welcome in, Colorblind. Hello, Floppy. Hello, Action. Late night pan boiled pasta. What flavor pasta sauce? Is it like red sauce? Alfredo? Tangri, hello, how are you? Yes, late night because I had the audio consultation. And now that it's over, I was like, you know, I'm gonna do some streaming. Don't know if I'll stream tomorrow. My friend did cancel dinner again. So she said that she had a work dinner thing that she needed to go to. So unfortunately, I won't be having dinner with her. But I might just use Wednesday to catch up on recording because I want to get ahead of my audios. And I need to sit down and do that because I find it sometimes so difficult to like sit down and concentrate because I'm always like procrastinating. But with recording, it's really hard. Like you can't procrastinate with that stuff because recording, right, takes as long as it needs to for the script. First of all, you can't just speed read a script. Second of all, editing it also takes twice as long as you think because you have to listen back and you're like cutting or you're like spacing the audio out so that it's a little bit more like natural for the listeners. And so that means having to listen back to things like several times or, you know, like cutting and, you know, fading things in and out, and sound effects. So let's say a finished audio is what, like 20 minutes long, maybe. That could take me, if I'm fast, it could take me an hour to edit that, with the 20 minutes plus of recording. Usually a 20-minute audio, when I cut it up, usually I recorded for like 25 to 30 minutes depending on how many mistakes I made, right? But like an hour of editing if I'm fast, if it's simple, if it's just like boom, put in some rain, you know, like 2 or 3 like coffee pouring and, you know, hair rubbing or whatever, like sound effects. But if it's more stuff like, oh, the sound of the bell and the door and the chair and sitting down and the phone ringing, like all of that will, then I have to like find the sound effect, listen to it, put it in and like mess with it. So like quick is an hour. It could take me 3 hours to edit an audio. And your girl, she doing that all herself. She don't got no audio editors for her, so that's cool. Fancy audio expert. I am not, but you sound wonderful. Princess has power over weather now too. Yeah, I could just make it rain. I wish I could make it rain money. I can't, unfortunately. But yeah, I guess that was my day. Make it rain on our parade? I don't think I would ever make it rain on your parade. That would be sad. No. I don't want to make it rain for anybody. That would be the saddest thing. What if people were looking forward to their parade song? Oh, sorry. Okay, no, I don't know the song. I'm sorry. We should get into the game, yeah? I I don't know. Pop culture references. Anyways, here we go. Audio. Game volume up. Sure. You'd be a terrible rain shaman? I think I would. Let me grab my controller here. All right. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Our crops are dying and Princess refuses to make it rain. I mean... Okay, we need to, excuse me, talk to Herlock. Because he lied to us. He lied to us about Kazuma. Oh, okay, he did. Do we have anything else? Do we want to present to him the new stuff we got? Like the picture of Mr. Drebber and then the cage? Is the game audio okay, you guys? Is it okay? Is it fine? Mr. Sholmes, would you cast your eyes over this photographic print? Ooh. Why all of a sudden? Floppy, you scare me. Hold on. Sorry. There's like a ringing in my ears. Now I'm worried. Is my hearing going? I'm okay. I think it's okay. Just heard a really high-pitched sound in my ear, and then I got freaked out. Maybe it's just placebo effect because Floppy said wear earplugs, and then now I'm ultra concerned about my ears. It's fine. Okay, I think we're okay. Sorry, Floppy. Did not mean to do a Floppy mention. To tinnitus? Maybe. Maybe. Hits of Mr. Enoch Drebber. The face of the engineer we seek. Some minor tinnitus? No! Well, all Englishmen. Hello, John. Welcome in. All Englishmen look broadly the same, of course. So looking at the photograph won't be particularly instructive. Are you all right, Mr. Sholmes? Yes. Forgive me. Very interesting, this. Very interesting indeed. As Corns would say, interdusting. Interdusting. What's wrong, Mr. Sholmes? You've turned quite pale all of a sudden. I have a suggestion, Mr. Naruhodo. Will you indulge me? Oh, well, what is it? As I explained to you when I arrived, the missing waxwork has been returned, and I personally reinstalled it in the exhibit from which it was taken, behind those thick curtains. Oh, yes, the professor exhibit, isn't it? Would you like to see it? For a mere 5 shillings! That's a special, one-time only price, you understand. What? The opportunity won't come again, I might add. Wouldn't you like to see the fruits of my labor? Oh, well, we do have a rather pressing investigation to carry out. Perhaps we could postpone? The price is a very reasonable 5 shillings. I think you'll find it's well worth it. Bard, hello, welcome in. How are you? Hello, hello. Nice check out, Bard. Got to meet him over the weekend, eat some hot pot. It was very nice. And then, you know, I didn't remember this, but like, yeah, so for Sharvana's birthday, she had like a kudo board up. And it was cute because, of course, I sang Sharvana happy birthday. And Bard was the only other person who sang Sharvana happy birthday. And like, I had made a note of that when Sharvana was going through her kudo board. But then, like, when you mentioned it on Sunday, I was like, oh yeah, like, he was the only other person who had like the same idea as me. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was in a little bit of a hurry, like this whole past couple of, I want to say past week. It's been a hurry for the past year, to be honest. But October's been a little bit busy. trying to stay abreast and maybe get ahead of recordings, because I do like 2 audios a week. That's a lot. That's a lot. But yeah, how are you doing, Bard? Welcome in. Are you being quite serious, Mr. Sholmes? Surely, you need only look at my expression to ascertain if this is seriousness or silliness. I can never tell with you. That's the point. Very well. It couldn't hurt. Here's your 5 shillings. Gratefully received. So, the special exhibit awaits behind the curtain. I invite you to peruse it at your leisure. Well, the money's been spent, so let's go and see the special exhibit. Through those heavy curtains at last. We are playing some Great Ace Attorney Chronicles today. Have you ever played this game series, Bard? I know I've seen you play, well, I know you were talking about Dragon Age. Do you have plans to stream that when that comes out? But I think I've seen you play, like, Mario. Was it Paper Mario? We raided into, playing something, I can't remember. It was like a couple months ago. Oh, are you into like mystery-ish like puzzle games? These are pretty fun. 5 shillings we've had to pay. It doesn't seem right somehow that Mr. Sholmes slipped the money into his own pocket, does it? No. Ah, we could ask Gina to retrieve it for us using her special skills. Pickpocketing police officers and diddling detectives. Is that what makes Britain great? No, please don't use that word. It's a bad word. We shall see if I stream Dragon Age Veilguard. I see. I will be no-lifing it when it comes out. I see. See, I'm like of the mind where like if I'm playing video games, like I will stream it. Like I'm already playing it, I might as well. Cause like I think for me, the fun in playing video games is sharing the experience with people. And a little bit vainly to record my reactions so I can go back and see how I reacted the first time. Because, like, I'll be honest, I have the memory of a goldfish. So if it's not recorded, it just didn't happen. You know, like, if I don't have it on tape, did it really happen? I gaslight myself a lot. So this is, you know, my way of countering that. Watched the first episode of Dan Da Dan earlier. It's such a banger. Oh, is that the ever mentioned it? It's like an anime that has like a boy that doesn't believe in ghosts and a girl that doesn't believe in like aliens or something, and they only meet like the opposite that they don't believe in, right? Or something like that. Has Princess earned her doctorate in ancient Japanese British law yet? I have not. Not to mention demigod prosecutors taking the law into their own hands, or chip-loving inspectors. Inspector Gregson comes off rather well in that list, I think. Whoa, scary. Hey, don't drop a pie on me. Oh dear, I felt a shiver run down my spine as soon as we walked in here. Miss Susato, I say we turn on our heels and go straight home via a really big confectionery. We certainly can't do that. We've paid 5 shillings already. True. Actually, now I'm looking a little more closely. We've paid good money to see an exhibit that's clearly incomplete. The nerve of the great diddling detective is far more terrifying than anything else in this place. This must be what Mr. Sholmes meant when he said the case was largely solved. Be that as it may, Mr. Sholmes heavily implied there'd be a clue about the engineer in here, didn't he? But where? Since we've paid 5 shillings, let's do 5 shillings worth of investigation, shall we? Yes, we will get we paid for. Is that fear or frustration that's making Susato-san's voice tremble? Alright, cool, awesome. Headless wax sculpture. Totally cool. This part of the exhibit is just as disturbing as the rest. It looks so real. It seems to be a young man in a white overcoat. And he has a large shovel in his hand too, look! Perhaps we should investigate in a little more detail. Oh, yeah, okay, these controls suck. No. No, sorry, hold on, these controls suck a lot. I think they're reverse. What's this here? Well, this would appear to be a lens in the middle, so I believe it's probably a camera. A camera? But it's so small! British technology is incredible, isn't it? I mean, what about Mr. Sholmes' skin prints? I think perhaps you should treat Mr. Sholmes' inventions as exceptions to the rule. But anyway, why would the man be in a graveyard at night with a camera? I wonder. Perhaps he was trying to capture the moment a dead body came back as a ghost on film. We'll just borrow this for a while, I think. Camera from around the neck of a waxwork in the Madame Tuspel special exhibit. By looking at the photographic plate inside the camera, we can see what picture was taken. What's a photographic plate? It's a piece of glass coated in a special emulsion that reacts to the light coming in through the lens. If we open the cover at the back of the camera, we should find it. Let's have a look. You should see yourself, Susato-san. Your eyes are shining. You really do like machinery, don't you? Also gotta go watch a show with the roomies. Hope to see you more in a bit. No worries, no worries. Have a good night, Tengri. Thanks so much for coming by. I appreciate you. It's quite a large lamp the man's carrying. Or is it a lantern? It's not unlike a Japanese chochin paper lantern, actually, is it? Lamp, lantern, chochin. The point is, it casts very little light. To be walking alone in a graveyard at night with only this. Well, I certainly couldn't do it. I'm not sure I could visit a graveyard at all, even in broad daylight, to be honest. Oh, please. Okay, I suck at this. What a large shovel! He's holding it rather ominously, isn't he? What on earth was the man doing with a shovel in a graveyard in the middle of the night? Miss Susato. Yes? That's a spade, isn't it? Come back, babe, I already miss you. No, it's a shovel. No, shovels are for digging. That's for scooping up loose material. It's a spade. We've been through this, Mr. Naruhodo. It's a shovel. No. Although, we haven't considered travels. We've allowed ourselves to be distracted, I feel. Perhaps we should concentrate on what the man was doing with the implement. So we're going to bury the hatchet? You're right, though. What was the man doing in the graveyard in the first place? That's the real question. Oh my god, wait, you guys. I forgot to merge my farm. I'm sorry. Just give me like 2... I'm so sorry. I was in a rush. I need to merge my farm real fast. You know, I've been slightly, maybe a little bit addicted to frickin' Farm Merge Valley on Discord. And I just need to make sure that I'm maximizing and optimizing my time in Farm Merge Valley. You know, I gotta claim my free gems and my free energy. Sorry. 1 second. I'm so apologies to everyone who's here right now. Alright, okay. Let's just, you know, grab this. Clear all of this out. Perhaps. Cool. And then we'll merge these things. Okay. Awesome. We got a bonus because we merged extra. What do you mean? I do not sound like I'm 81. I'm only 80 years old, okay? I'm not that old. Come on, dude. Okay, I got those, and then I got this. I claim these. Okay, and then I gotta make the cheese. Okay, make the omelet. Okay, I am done. I've maximized my time in this game. We can leave now. Sorry about that. Okay. I'm betting that Princess is the 80-year-old granny playing Candy Crush Saga 2. I fucking love Candy Crush. Okay, Candy Crush is incredible. Is there a way for me to... I can't see his face very well, can you? Perhaps if I just... Oh! Do you think you should be manhandling the exhibits, Mr. Naruhodo? I'll put it back exactly as it was, don't worry. Oh. Ugh! What on earth? How can... I don't believe it. A black monocle. Mr. Naruhodo, is it possible that this man is... Yes. It's Enoch Drebber. The color of his hair is different, but it's unmistakably him. Interesting. Interesting. Indeed it is. Mr. Sholmes, this man is the subject of your present hunt, I believe. Yes, that's right. Just who is this man? Why is he here in this exhibit? And why does the convict behind him have no head? The head was missing when the model was returned by the thief who stole it. What a surprise. So then the case isn't yet solved, is it? Did I not say so myself? Largely solved were my words, I believe. But I must locate the missing head tout de suite, as Madame would say, or I'll be in grave trouble. A very hungry Iris still awaits my return to Baker Street, preferably with rations. Ugh. Since it's already getting late over here, I need to go to bed. Good night, John. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. Do you know, though, something about this room is strange. Strange? What do you mean? Well, the displays in the House of Horrors are supposed to depict real events, are they not? Indeed, they are, Miss Susato. Do go on. And as terrifying as they are, the scenes in the other exhibits are believable. But this one... This surely couldn't ever really have happened, could it? I think it's time I educated you a little about the nature of the incidents involving the professor 10 years ago. Interesting. I believe I told you a little about the professor yesterday, did I not? He took the lives of 5 victims, everyone being either a member of the aristocracy or royalty. All were attacked by an enormous hunting hound and had their throats ripped from their bodies. Oh gosh, an enormous hound? How awful. After taking the life of his fifth victim, the killer was apprehended. It was a case of unprecedented magnitude in Britain, you understand. Accordingly, the professor was tried in a closed court. No members of the public were permitted. A closed court? So you mean that the professor's identity? As you surmised, my dear fellow, his identity was never made public. Wait, why not? What if he was so dangerous? How come? Naturally, he was found guilty and was summarily sentenced to death by hanging. He was buried in a grave at Lowgate Cemetery, which adjoins the rear of the prison where he had been held. However, that was not the end of the affair. Oh. The very night that he was buried, the convicted man came back to life. Came back to life? He clawed his way out of the ground and emerged into the moonlit graveyard. The exhibit here depicts that very scene, as described by the sole witness to those chilling events. There was a witness? But of course, my dear fellow, it was none other than the young man in the white overcoat. Enoch Drebber. He saw it happen? Interesting. But if he was the sole witness, I mean, were they able to confirm that the body... Sorry, I need to adjust my chair. Were they able to confirm that the only... Like, that the body was still in the... Or body was missing from the grave? Because, like, if he was the sole witness... What if he's the professor? There's no way, right? "10 years ago, the convicted professor, having been gibbeted and buried, emerged from his grave in the dead of night. The sole witness to that unimaginable scene was this young man. From appearances, I would say he was about 20 years old." It's so horrifying. Scared out of his wits, the young Drebber ran to a nearby police station to report the incident. And the sheer terror of what he'd seen is said to have turned his hair white overnight. Yes, as shown in the photograph we have of him, his hair is completely white. For the following few days, the story of what he'd seen was on every front page in the capital. The public was frantic for every last detail about the killer who'd come back to life. As you've seen, an exhibit was even created here at Madame Tuspel's. I can quite understand why the man's hair turned white, certainly. But what I don't understand is what Mr. Drebber was doing in the first place, in a lonely graveyard, in the middle of the night. Yes, what was he up to? The professor's acts of terror threw London's upper classes into complete panic 10 years ago. It was a great scandal, one might say, at the very highest levels of society. And since the killer's identity was never made public, rumors abounded. After all, no killer had ever before systematically employed a dog as a weapon of murder. Yes, I can imagine the impact the case must have had. But in time, of course, the rumors abated. So too did talk... Sorry. So too did talk of the shocking witness account of the convict who came back to life. It was forgotten, dismissed as a dubious ghost story, as a preposterous parlor tale. But why did people stop believing it? Why, simply because there was no resurrection to speak of, as was established in fact. What do you mean by no resurrection? The police investigated the grave in Lowgate Cemetery and published their findings. The convict's body was found to be buried exactly where it had been following the... Okay, so what did he see then? No! But that would mean Mr. Drebber must have lied to the police and the newspapers. Now why would he go and do that? That would appear to be the only logical explanation, yes. The young man subsequently vanished from society, and nothing has been heard of him since. It's rather striking, then, that he should resurface now, don't you think? Of course, the convicted murderer couldn't really have come back to life. That's not possible. But Drebber's hair is unusually white, and if that really did happen overnight as a result of shock, it's hard to believe the incident was an out-and-out lie. Do you think he'll say anything about this birdcage? Odie Asman. Yes, a fearsome adversary. What? You mean you fought him? Why, once infiltrated his criminal organization in order to investigate the man and his activities. But he saw through my disguise instantly. I still remember what the man said to me now. What was it? Whoever saw such a tall old lady? Old lady? Indeed, but my special disguise hasn't seen the light of day again since that humiliation. Mrs. Minicle is retired. Mrs. Minicle? I would give my right arm to see that. Okay, he has nothing special to say with this. Sorry. I'm a little bit eepy. I'm like yawning a lot. Okay, so nothing here. So we don't have any more to talk about. Examine. This must be the killer. The fiend known as the Professor. Yes, I think so. According to what Madame Tuspel said, he killed 5 victims, all of noble or royal blood. The waxwork is so lifelike, isn't it? Like all the models in this place. I know. It looks like it could start moving at any moment, doesn't it? If only it had a head, that is. Perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. So, this is the condemned man. Yes, the so-called professor. Then perhaps his head was just chopped off by a guillotine. But unable to find peace, he emerged from his grave as a headless ghost. Do we have to entertain such terrifying ideas, Miss Susato? Anyway, I'm sure the model had a head once. There's a metal fitting for it, see? Then perhaps Mr. Sholmes absent-mindedly forgot to reattach it. That's an extremely absent-minded detective you're describing, isn't it? Or perhaps the thief absent-mindedly forgot to include the head when he or she returned it to the museum? And that would be an extremely absent-minded thief. Could there have been some reason why only the head wasn't returned? Well, whatever the reason, it means we don't know what the face of the infamous professor looked like, do we? I mean, if they never released his identity, then how would they know what he looked like? Oh. There's something caught just inside the convict's jacket here. It looks like a piece of broken glass, and quite a big piece, too. I know what they used. This is the body. This is the second body that they used, that crashed into the glass. Right? It has to be this. It's very thick, isn't it? About 5 times thicker than normal window glazing, I'd say. Where could such a thick piece of glass have come from, I wonder? I suppose it must have been made thick to increase its strength. But why? Well, Perhaps because the glass had to span a particularly wide area, such as in a big building, for example. Ah, well, we've seen a large glass building recently, haven't we? And some of the glass was broken too. You don't mean... Exactly, the Crystal Tower at the Great Exhibition. But why would glass from the Crystal Tower be lodged inside this waxworks jacket? It makes you think, doesn't it? Thick glass found in the folds of the clothing of the Professor waxwork. Earlier in court, we established that the kinesis experiment was a trick, and now we discover this fragment of glass here in this waxwork. Is it just a coincidence? It's never a coincidence! Excuse me, sorry. I need a cough. And I need to flip, apparently, I need to flip the icons for the microphone mute because that is gonna mess me up. It's like red and apparently I set it so that, you know, it's supposed to be just like a blue icon when it's live and red when it's muted so that I know that it's muted visually. So I gotta switch that out, I guess. Anything else here? Nope. Ah! What the bleeding Nora, Odo? What have you gone and done? Gina, what are you doing here? I asked Iris and she said this is where you'd be, so... Gina, not so loud in the museum. Madame Two-Spells will have you take a position as a waxwork if you're not careful. I think there might be a more pressing concern. I still had some flash powder left from 6 months ago, so... All right, Gina, we understand, but please, put down the gun. Sorry, I got scared. You should try being the one on the other end of the barrel. So, what brings you here, Gina? What brings me here? What do you think? We found it! We found that dodgy Cove's workshop! What? You found Drebber's workshop? Yep. Toby's nose took me straight there. The boss and the others are heading over there now in a drag, so come on! Here's the address. I got the boss to write it out. Oh, thank you, Gina. We'll make our way there at once. Alright then, see you there! Cute! Alright, let's go. You go. Don't mind me. I'll just stay here, being still. What? I know my place in the exhibit over there. Oh dear, someone is feeling sorry for himself. Let's go, Mr. Sholmes, you're coming. Your words hearten me, I must say. But if I were to shirk my duties here, Madame would have me pay monetary recompense and Iris's dinner plate would be empty. Forget that, I'll pay for everything. Then there's not a moment to lose, my dear fellow. I shall hail a carriage at once. No offer to share the cost from Mr. Sholmes, then. I shall gladly pay half, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Miss Usato. Right, let's go. Do we get to apprehend him? Is he being apprehended? That looks like... Oh, it's another super high voltage instantaneous kinesis machine. Indeed, it would appear so, though only a prototype, naturally. Ah, so you got here then? Gina, well done for finding this place. And in such little time. You really worked miracles. It's Toby here who's the miracle worker. Woof! I thought you lot would show up before long. Hello, Inspector. That's one knitted brow. He looks like he's eating a lemon, not a bag of fish and chips. So, Inspector, is there any sign of the engineer? Sadly not. We didn't find a soul in here. Oh, what a shame. Well, thank you for letting us know about this place and giving us a chance to investigate. According to what Gina tells me, we only found it thanks to a clue that you lot turned up. I wouldn't want to say, go to Paris with a debt of gratitude unpaid now, would I? Thank you. Anyway, if you're hoping to snoop around in here, I'd get cracking. Lord Van Zeeks and the forensic investigation team are on their way here as we speak. Them again. I imagine you've got the picture by now. They don't take too kindly to lawyer types. Right. So then, my dear fellows, let's turn this place upside down whilst we have the chance. And you, Sholmes. Pardon? They take even less kindly to great detectives than they do to lawyers. Very droll, Gregson, very droll. But you may consider me nothing more than an inconspicuous waxwork model. Right then, let's see what we can find in here. What on earth is this? An aeroplane, Mr. Naruhodo. One day, scientists believe it will allow humans to fly freely in the skies. Is that how the trick will be described, is it? Sorry? Well, it's actually suspended by a thin but very strong cable, isn't it? Oh, well, this model is, yes, but a real airplane would actually fly high in the sky. While suspended from somewhere even higher in the sky, of course. Because large metal objects obviously can't really stay in midair unsupported. So, to you, the solution is ever taller towers? Ah, this appears to be most interesting. Yes, most interesting indeed, wouldn't you say? It's an impressive looking back massager, that's for sure. I have no doubt that if you hit your shoulders a few times with that, your aches and pains would soon go away. It's a Royal Society trophy for excellence in science. A young scientist could wish for no higher honor. Ah, would you like a massage? No, I'm fine, thank you. Had no idea it was such a grand thing. I think it's becoming increasingly clear that there's much more to this Mr. Enoch Drebber than conjuring tricks. I couldn't agree more, my dear madam. And how about you, Mr. Naruhodo? Wouldn't you like to take it with you? For your tired shoulders, of course. He's not going to let that go, is he? It's curious, though, isn't it? You would expect such an important trophy to be proudly on display somewhere, not haphazardly cast aside. English gentlemen can be quite a mystery at times. Science trophy! Okay. I'm sorry, Mr. Naruhodo. That machine is covered by the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act. There would be serious repercussions if you were to examine it from the Crown and the government. Well, those two don't seem to be holding back. It's quite hollow inside. No working parts or devices of deception to be seen, my dear fellow. No loose change dropped on the floor, nothing. Not even a bone for Toby here, my dear fella. British people are very much ruled by their own ideals, aren't they? I think that's just these two, Miss Susato. This is... It's a European-style quiver of arrows with steel bolts inside. Oh, do you suppose? crossbow bolts, these. Just the right size for the bow you lot turned up at the exhibition grounds. In other words... Yep, that's more evidence to support your theory. It all goes to show that Drebber was the one pulling the strings behind the scenes of the whole scam. Show, hello, welcome in. Thank you for tucking John in. How are you this evening? We are slowly examining Mr. Enoch Drebber's workspace. This door doesn't want to open. Yeah, looks like it got a pretty hefty lock on it. There's a specialist locksmith on the way over from the yard, so hands off till he gets here. With permission, Inspector, I could have that lock open in less than a minute. Well, you don't have permission, and no one's given it to you. Gregson looked as though he really enjoyed that. Well, there's no sound of anybody on the other side. No, Drebber must have fled at the first sign of danger. Uh-oh. Oh. Is something wrong, Miss Susato? Well, I thought I heard a noise from the far side of that door. Well, Gina, did you hear it too? Yeah, I heard it and all. What'd you reckon, Toby? Woof, woof! Tired. I was trying to watch Uki stream earlier. His voice was so soft that I fell asleep. Oh no! Well, I'm sorry that my voice won't be as soft as Uki's. So, you know, maybe you can stay awake and get some work done, or, you know, stay awake and do other things for the rest of the evening, or be here, you know, whatever you want to do. But, I hope you've been having a good week so far, Show. Right, mind the grease. Uh-oh. Whoever's in there, open up! This is Scotland Yard! Why do you think that that person would open the door after you literally announced that there was police? They ran away, clearly. Oh my! Someone is in there! Oh, this rotten bleeding lock! My dear Gregson, as I said only minutes ago, if only it were countenanced, I could unlock that door in less than a minute. Fine. I'll take the rap for it. Just get us through that blasted door. There. You may enter at will. You've confused minutes with seconds, I think. Time is of the essence, I feel. What are we waiting for? Nothing for it, I suppose. This is an emergency. There's a strong possibility that beyond that door is the engineer you all seek. Be prepared for action, my dear fellow. Yes. Do my best to stay awake. Anything for Herlock Sholmes and Princess, I guess. Do it for Herlock. What? What's happened in here? Why is everything upside down? Rats, there ain't no one in here after all. But there must be. It was only moments ago that we heard those noises. Maybe that was the sound of Drebber running away? But there's only one door into this room. Trapdoor. And no windows that could afford an escape route. Those skylights are too high. Oh no! There's boots! What's that up there? Are they footprints on the ceiling? Blow me. What have we here then? God, why blow me and diddling? Seriously, really? Huh, did this room rotate? Looks like someone was trying to burn something in a hurry. Oh, that looks like a set of blueprints. To what? To that Professor Hairbrain's barmy machine, is it? Blimey, if we had these, there'd have been no need to muck about trying to investigate all that scrap metal. There is something of great interest here, too. This rope was lying on the floor at the foot of that pillar. A rope? What's significant about that? Never mind. You see, but you do not observe, Mr. Naruhodo. We must investigate the entire room thoroughly, and before the forensic investigation team arrive too. What is this in the right in the middle? Seriously? Okay, let's look at the footprints first. There's no denying it, is there? They're footprints. Yes, it would appear so. And I simply can't imagine how they came to be there. Isn't there a Susato shoot-up or something? Like a Susato takedown, I mean? I'm no Wonder Woman, Mr. Naruhodo. That would make her almost superhuman, I suppose. That's a really lovely model. It looks just like a real flying balloon. I think it's probably staying aloft on the same principle as a full-sized balloon using gas. A green flying balloon. It does have the hallmarks of that amazing deception at the Great Exhibition, doesn't it? Deckhand, welcome in! Oh my god, it's not Jump King? Yeah, see, I told you, I play other games sometimes that aren't Jump King. I wish it was Jump King though, but we gotta make our way through this game. I like want to know the rest of the story. How are you, Deckhand? Welcome in, good evening. Could it be that the whole thing was planned here in this very workshop? Almost every piece of furniture is upside down. Even Mr. Sholm's suite isn't ever in this much of a mess. You're in no position to comment on mess, Mr. Naruhodo. But I suppose it's not quite the same, isn't it? Blink twice if you need help. No, I swear, I'm fine. I'm not blinking. I'm not blinking. I wish it was Jump King. Sometimes we have to play other games, okay? We can't be a Jump King only streamer, okay? I gotta attract new viewers somehow. Another day in paradise. I went to Renfest. Ooh. Okay, what was the coolest thing that you bought? Because you said spend money. So what was the coolest thing that you bought at Renfest? Share. And then what was the coolest thing that you did or that you saw at Renfest? You need to trick new viewers? Interesting. Yeah, we gotta, you know, we gotta draw them in with the riveting gameplay and voice acting, and then when they come in, I'll trap them with endless hours of yapping on Jump King. I mean, it's not messy in here per se, it's that everything is literally upside down. But why? $200 on a pirate hat made of leather, and I got a kilt again. Ooh, a $200 hat sounds very fancy. That's a very large safe. I don't suppose even Mr. Sholmes could open that lock. Although, if you were a thief, you could just steal the entire thing, I suppose. It's bolted to the floor to prevent exactly that sort of underhand trick, Mr. Naruhodo. Well then, you could just steal the floor as well, I suppose. I'm sorry, but you really aren't making any sense at all. Anyway, I think we can agree that whatever is inside must be very important. Alright, we will go to the last thing in this room, which is the suspicious TNT dynamite in the middle here. A giant D2 and a pirate banner? Ooh, there is this one guy that dresses up as a fox every year. Made it a mission to get a pic with him every year. Ooh, I want to see. That's so cool. Every year? Yeah. Mr. Sholmes, have you found something? Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, in point of fact, something rather fascinating. What do you make of this? Let's see. I've never seen anything like it before. It looks like a bundle of thick cigars wrapped up in a large— Ah! Miss Susato, what's the matter? Surely that's a time bomb, isn't it? What? Did you say? Hold on. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. Time bomb. Sorry, but what is a time bomb exactly? Huh? You're truly one of a kind, Mr. Naruhodo. I won't take that as a compliment. Ha! You don't know nothing, do ya, Odo? You haven't got a clue what it is either, have you, Gina? I invite you to consult a dictionary later, Mr. Naruhodo. Okay, thank you. But this particular specimen is no time bomb, though I confess it has a very similar appearance. Oh, well, thank goodness. But then, what is it? I see, so that's it. Goodness, Mr. Sholmes. Have you seen to the heart of the matter? There are times when I consider my lot most unfair, for I'm fated never to know how it feels to flounder as you do when a puzzle presents itself. But I have learnt to accept the hardships that come with being a great detective, Miss Susato. Do you dress up when you go to the Ren Fair, Deccan? Here we go. I feel a great deduction coming. Once again, I can draw two conclusions from the scene we see before us. The first is that the inverted nature of the furniture in this room is the work of Dureber himself. Oh, but how could you? And the second conclusion is that the small device on the floor there, is without question completely genuine. Ooh, cute! What do you usually like dressing up as? Do you change your costume every year, or do you use like the same like outfit? Hello, son, welcome in. Please, Mr. Sholmes, you must explain everything. It would be a pleasure. After all, it is a great detective's civic duty to teach Scotland Yard the finer points of the trade. Well, Inspector Gregson seems delighted with the idea anyway. Oh, you deflected the inspector's glare with such fortitude there, Mr. Sholmes. Well done. You're too kind, my dear madam. I hereby dedicate this great deduction to you. Kindly stand just there, Miss Susato. Oh, yes, I'd be delighted. Ads? No! Why are there ads? I didn't run any. Okay. I think I will take a chance to run some, like, actual ads then. We'll take a moment to run some ads. 3-minute break. Oh, never mind. Okay, hi, welcome back. Weird because I shouldn't have pre-roll ads on. I think, wait. How long were the ads? Let me double check, because I could have sworn I changed my settings so it didn't have mid-roll. Where is that? Is that under like monetization ads? Yeah, ads aren't scheduled, so I run my ads. Didn't hear if you asked me a question. That's weird. Did you get like a mid-roll ad? Because I shouldn't have any mid-rolls. Like when you come in, you should see an ad if it's been like an hour from when I started or an hour from when I took a break, but you shouldn't get mid-roll ads, and you were talking for quite a bit. Weird. Oh, I wanted to ask you, for your Ren Fair outfit, do you do a new one every year, or do you do like the same outfit? So, shall we begin?
Once again, Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Flipped furniture. It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and the chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Welcome in, Yoshimori. I love these. They're quite fun. Almost as if every item in the room had until recently been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor. Every item in the room was on the ceiling? Are you suggesting that? Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. Banger music and theatrics, it's pretty funny, yeah. For the gravity in this room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality. Goodness. The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in the whole business. I quite understand your skepticism, Miss Susato. I, too, was incredulous at first. However, my conviction in my analysis was cemented when I observed this. An anti-gravity device almost identical to one that featured in a dream of mine only the other day, in fact. But then, why does it have a clock on it? A most relevant question indeed. That is a timing device that controls when the gravity direction will switch. There was clearly a requirement for the engineer to be able to restore normal gravity automatically. I used to wear the same outfit like a kilt and stuff, but I messed up all my kilts because I didn't know they were dry clean only! Oh no, that's terrible. Did they shrink or did they like felt up in the washer? And the commotion we heard earlier from the other side of the door was the moment that restoration occurred. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. So you see, you need to look no further to explain the state in which we now find this room. The direction in which gravity acts in here was reversed by Mr. Drubber, before being restored to normality in an automatic fashion sometime later by the timer device. I have witnessed precisely this scene in a dream I once had when I fell out of bed. Shrunk colors bled and the leather straps got all jacked up. Oh no, I'm sorry. That sucks so much. I'm so sorry. I hope that, maybe, well, okay, so when fabric shrinks, I assume it was like wool, because wool has like a habit of maybe shrinking and felting in the wash. Are you able to, like piece together the fabric into like a bigger piece? I don't know how many kilts you had. Because I know when the color bleeding might be like a more difficult problem to solve. But when it comes to like shape and size, personally, I think that, especially when it's like historical clothing, you can get away with like piecing your fabric together. It's not like a big deal, because like I hear it a lot in historical YouTuber like circles where they'll do like the historical clothing, but piecing a pattern piece is totally period, because obviously fabric back then was very expensive. So when they would get to the end of their fabric piece, if they needed, like, let's say we could only get like half of a bodice front or something, then the person who was sewing that would piece together, like from other places in the fabric where there was extra fabric, they would piece together and make one full panel. And like doing it that way is totally period accurate. I know like it quote unquote looks ugly, but I think it just makes a outfit have more character anyways. I just had to cut losses and get new ones, which was a loss of about 200 bucks. Ads again? How are there so many ads? I'm not running any. Question, do you guys... Well, you guys can't answer the question. Is anyone else getting hit by ads? Lags out and I have to reload. Oh. Okay, I guess I'll just take a quick 3-minute break. That way there won't be ads for pre-rolls coming in. That way we... Oh. Hello, welcome in, Lost. I'm so sorry. I'm actually taking a very quick break for a little bit. Because I need to step away from the desk. But welcome in, Raiders. Hello, hello. Welcome in, Lost. When I come back from my break, please let me know if you want to do like a clip shout out or if you would like to do a VOD feature. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Princess Raska. I'm a variety VTuber on Twitch. I love playing Jump King, but you know, sometimes we play other games. I will take a quick break. I will be back after 3 minutes, all right? I'm so sorry. I'm gonna be right back, y'all. Okay, we should be back. You shouldn't have any more pre-rolls. I hope that's better, Deckhand. I'm so sorry. Okay, we're back. Welcome in, Raiders. I'm so sorry that I had to go on break right as you guys came in, but welcome in. Let me show you guys... sorry, I muted the wrong source. Let me show you guys some of Lost's things. Lost is one of the people I met. I forget how I met Lost. Like, maybe he came in during a raid for Nier? Maybe I was playing like Nier Replicant. I lost the game? No, don't say that. That's terrible. But we're gonna see. Let me give Lost some shout outs first, because I didn't get a chance to do it when he came in. Thank you so much for the raid, by the way. I'm so sorry. I'm a little bit... You literally caught me as I was like debating to go take a break because of the pre-roll issue. But let's take a look here. No. It's not your fault. Don't worry. It's not your fault. Oh my god. Is something bad gonna happen? I'm scared. I'm not looking. What's happening? What was happening in that clip, Lost? I said it works though, because I gotta go get a shower anyway. No worries. Deckhand's fault for having ads. No, I wanted to make sure that you guys have like a very good experience watching my stream. And I was like, why are you getting so many ads? Like, I'm not running any mid-rolls. Like, you shouldn't be sending any ads. What's this? Are you getting healed? Oh. Do you trigger the trap? Is this why it's clipped? I bet you triggered the trap, didn't you? Trapped between two undauntable monsters. Oh, I see. That's what happened. I see. Did you kill someone? Did someone die? You know, I'm really confused when it comes to lethal, because, like, obviously it's scary, so it's not a game that I play, like, often or ever. I've played it once. The one time I played it was with Corns and Evo and, Barks, and that was the one time. My party member did after I got the item. Oh no, that's terrible. Well, thank you so much, Lost, for the raid in again. Please don't stay on my account. Please make sure you're getting that after stream self-care. It sounds like you're really busy tonight, so I really appreciate the raid, guys. Please check out Lost. Give him a follow. He is a face cammer. He does a lot of like JRPGs as well. I've seen him play like a lot of Final Fantasy, like Lightning 13, Lightning Returns. Think he either was working to plat that game or maybe already has platinum in that game. But yeah, did get a cloak a couple years ago for 400 bucks. Oh my god, that's so expensive. If something was $400, I would literally go out, buy the fabric, and make it for maybe a little bit cheaper. I mean, like, I say quote-unquote cheaper because, like, the fabric would be cheaper, but, like, my time spent doing it would not be cheap. So, in the end, because I don't value my time, right? I'm like, time, I have literally not enough time, but, you know, I have so much time and it's worthless. So, that is better than spending $400 on a cape, and then I spend literally, like, a whole month, which is, like, you know, how many hours do I have after work? So if I get home from work at like 6 and then I work until 9 or 10, let's say I only do that twice a week. That's 4 hours twice a week, 8 times. No, I'd have to work on it more. I'm trying to think, how long would a cloak construction take for me? Probably like 3 days a week. So that's like 6 to 10, 4 hours times 3 is 12 times 4, at least 48 hours. And I mean, talking in like minimum wage, that's still a lot more money than $400 of a cloak. But you know, like, my time is worthless, so it would just be the material cost. You have unlimited time because you are immortal, I wish. We'll be lurking, we'll also be back. No worries. That was the night I debuted me getting hit by a truck. Oh my goodness. Wanted to get some knee-high pirate boots so bad, but I couldn't find any that matched. A cloak is mostly sewing. Yeah, it's like cutting fabric and then sewing it together. So I have made a cape before. There is a cloak that I really want to make. Do you guys know the show The Witcher on Netflix? I think it's Ciri, the little girl. She has this like really gorgeous, like blue, like navy blue or like emerald green blue, like cape slash cloak with like a big hood and like these really puffy sleeves with like it's like bishop sleeves, so they like puff at the top and they puff near the bottom, but like she has a portion on the cape that's like snug to her forearm, so like the puff is just up until that point, and then it's like you know, the forearms, and then there's like slots in the cape too for your arms to like come out of. It's really gorgeous. Toss a coin to your Witcher, or maybe a 20. Let's make it a 20. But yeah, I wish, excuse me, I wish I had like the pattern for that, because man, I would die to make a cape like that, you know. Take back your time and value it. I wish I could. I wish I could. I will try. You know, this past year has been me trying to be more kind to myself. So I think it's one of the things that I need to exercise more of, being mindful that my time is worth something. Sure, you can find one online, Deckhand. I literally have not found a pattern for this. If you find like Witcher Ciri cloak slash cape pattern, please let me know, because I have not found any online. Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our heads. Yes, how is it even possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling? A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight. Of course, Drubber's aim was singular, to escape. However, there is but one way into this room, excepting the skylight, that is. Ah. By inverting the gravity in here, Drubber was able to fall conveniently to the ceiling and make his escape via the otherwise inaccessible skylight, leaving those footprints behind on the way. But the ceiling in here is very high, Mr. Sholmes. If the gravity reversal was sudden, wouldn't Mr. Drubber had fallen up to the ceiling rather violently? Falling up is both scientifically and philosophically a rather interesting concept, I feel. But the man was cornered with nowhere to run, so escape through the skylight was his only option. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? By anchoring one end to the wall, the man was able to lower himself safely to the ceiling. Which explains how Drubber was able to escape this room before our arrival. He reversed the pull of gravity and fled via the skylight. And personally, I should very much like to reverse the pull of gravity again now, just for fun. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. I need to get more leather patterns. I have not worked with any leather goods because I know, like, I've made stuff out of leather before, because I bought like a 5-pound thing of leather scraps, because I was like, oh, you know, like, because I'm stupid. And I was like, oh, I need to make myself a leather thimble. because I don't, the metal ones on my fingers just aren't comfortable. So I made myself a leather one. I literally only needed like one tiny sliver of leather. Cause okay, when I went on Etsy and I looked up leather thimbles, they were like maybe $10, maybe 15. And like a 5 pound or maybe 1 pound, I can't remember at this point. One of the pounds pack of scrap leather was basically the same price. So I was like, okay, I can get more bang for my buck because I can make my own leather thimble. They aren't that hard to make. And when it, inevitably wears down, I can make another one. I'm literally, it's been 5 years. I'm on my second thimble. Okay. I don't need that many leather thimbles. I should not have bought the 5 pound pack. But that is to say, I have tried to like cut through it and sew through it before. Sewing through leather is like this whole other thing that like I have no knowledge about. It's like this whole new world. It requires special tools that I just don't have because I have a regular sewing machine. So that was great. But I kind of want to try making like, did you punch the stitching holes? No. I did something whack, but I'm on my second thimble is a sentence I have never heard in my entire life. What do you mean? There's your problem. I know. It requires tools and I didn't want to spend money on tools, so I just struggled instead. Hashtag story of my life. But yeah, and okay, get this. I don't even like the second thimble. I made it the exact same way. Okay. But the first thimble has just molded to the shape of my finger. And it's like much more comfortable and soft, which is why I like using it so much. But it's literally like falling apart. So I have to like move it around to get to a part that isn't so worn down from the butt of the needle when I use it. But then I'm like, okay, I made a second thimble. Princess, just use a second thimble. And I'm like, well, it's not comfy. But like, if I don't use it, it's not going to get comfy. So I don't know. It's like this never ending like cycle. Eventually, the first thimble is going to get to a point where I literally just cannot use it anymore. And then I'll be forced to use the second one. And then eventually it'll just mold to my finger, like the first one. But until then, it's apps. And I don't even sew that much anymore anyways. The tools are the hardest part. It's true. And like, when you first get into sewing, you really don't need that many tools. But the more you learn about sewing, there's like so many different kinds of sewing. And like some fabrics require specialty, like needles and stuff, especially if you're doing like knits, obviously leather. If you want to be, a little bit more professional with the clothes that you make, you probably want like a serger, right? And it just makes your life a little bit easier when you're making clothes and it makes it neater on the inside. And if you do quilting, that's like a whole nother thing. There's like a whole bunch of things. So yeah, tools are just casually sewing leather with a thimble. Not casually. I cry every time I have to do it because it's literally like it protects my finger, but it's still like I'm using my finger to push a needle through leather. And so the needle, first of all, has to be really sharp. But second of all, it's still leather that I'm trying to push a needle through. So it's going to have a lot of resistance. So needles for cloth and leather are so much different. Yeah. Yep. She's completely spellbound. Mr. Sholmes, there is just one thing that troubles me. I would expect nothing less. You're destined to be troubled by just one thing for the rest of your life. The thing is such a thing actually possible? An anti-gravity device, I mean. I would say that with man's current scientific knowledge at the turn of the 20th century, it's no more possible than instantaneous kinesis. If you punch the holes, you don't need a sharp needle. It's a whole process that is a pain in the ass, especially on a big project. Yeah. But your whole deduction hinges on it. But my dear fellow, when you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth, however improbable it may seem. It's a marvelous line, wouldn't you agree? One of my more enduring pearls of wisdom.
I had Iris come up with the exact phrasing. My original was clumsy. Yes, I have a feeling I read it in something that Miss Susato lent me once.
Objection.
Actually, there is one other thing, Mr. Sholmes.
The spell's broken at last.
The rope you found was on the floor, wasn't it?
Indeed it was, in lonely coils near the wall.
But if Mr. Drebber had used it to escape in the way you described, wouldn't it still be tied to the wall?
Mysteries inevitably unravel in the end, as I think you'll find do ropes. And as evidence of such, you need only look at the mystery we face in this room, now skillfully unraveled. That argument is as circular as the coils of rope. A nice Google image search goes from small quick needles to the surgery tools needed for leather. Yeah.
I think perhaps we might need to give Mr. Sholmes the usual little helping hand. I'm sure with some minor corrections, the great detective's great deduction will lead us to the truth.
Yes, you're right. And we must do it quickly before Enoch Drebber gets too far away. If you're ready then, let us resume. Herlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular. Course correction! Hold it, Mr. Sholmes! It's plain to see that this room is in complete disarray. The bed, the table and chairs, the lamp, everything is upside down. Almost as if every item in the room had, until recently, been happily positioned on the ceiling, before falling straight down onto the floor.
Every item in the room was on the ceiling. Are you suggesting that?
Indeed, the key here is gravity. It would appear that technology has at last succeeded in freeing us from the great pull of the earth. Gravity! For the gravity in the room was reversed and then suddenly restored to normality.
Goodness.
The inverted furniture clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business.
To think gravity could have been reversed in this very room. I find the whole idea utterly enthralling. Only Mr. Sholmes could conceive of such an explanation.
But the man himself admitted it was a scientific impossibility, so...
Yes, you're quite right. We must completely discount the idea at once.
Oh, that's unusually merciless of you, Miss Susato.
When you have eliminated the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The great detective himself said so, didn't he?
While refusing to part with his dreams of anti-gravity devices.
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, let's see if examining this topsy-turvy scene a little more closely reveals some more proof that shows exactly what the gravity in this room was or wasn't doing.
All the furniture in here is very conspicuously upside down, certainly.
Yes, it does immediately put you in mind of some strange quirk of gravity, I admit.
Ah! Could it be that a mini whirlwind passed through here, do you think?
About to ungravitify. What I bought was Jump King. Wait, what? You got Jump King, Yoshimori? I hope you enjoy it. Please let us know what you think of the game.
Oh dear, saying the first thing that comes into your head isn't the way forward here, it seems.
Cringe? No, we love Jump King. Don't cringe. Okay, well, we looked at inverted furniture. Is there anything else we can look at? Oh, here. Well, I wasn't expecting to find a pretty bunch of flowers in here, that's for sure.
Look at that.
I know, that slender little vase looked like it's about to topple at any moment, but the flowers are thriving. Somehow, it makes you think of the fragility of life, wouldn't you say?
To be honest, Mr. Naruhodo, something else about it made a rather deeper impression on me.
Take that!
$7? It's on sale? Oh my god, it's on sale, guys. Get Jump King, it's on sale. Oh my god, I got a tweet, it's on sale. Wait, let me just double check so I can make sure. I don't want to be spreading that misinformation, okay? Give me 1 second. Jump King. It is on sale. Okay, time to tweet about it. Thanks for letting me know, you guys. 50% off. We love that. We love that. Let me go to the thing where I can post from both social medias. Ayo, Jump King on sale. 50% off. Go get this awesome, incredible game. All right. Acidic, welcome in. Once again, thanking you for the comfy ASMR. Of course, I'm glad you've been enjoying them. I did like a cuter one this Monday, but I think I'm gonna find some more scary scripts because it is like, you know, in the spirit of Halloween and stuff. But thank you so much for coming in and letting me know. I know you've kind of like been here since earlier this year, but I really appreciate it. So thank you, thank you. Bought it half off. Hey ho, are you still getting screen flickers? I did yesterday when I booted up stream. However, today I started up stream and everything looks good, so I don't think so. I'll let you know if it happens again, but it only happened once yesterday. Yeah. Wanna teach me how to play it? Of course. Let's go. Wait, oh, yes, let's go on the sale. Yeah, play Jump King. It's awesome. I love it. We can play. Look, okay, I'll stream Jump King. We'll play it, and then you'll see my little thing jumping on your screen, and it'll teach you where you should be jumping. That would be so fun. You know, I think Corns wanted to organize a VTSO like Jump King Day where we get members of VTSO playing the multiplayer mod of Jump King, and I think that would be fantastic. I would love that so much. I love Jump King. Jump King's great. The upright vase clearly reveals the truth about the part gravity played in this whole business. Upon my word, Mr. Naruhodo, you've surpassed yourself by completely turning my argument on its head. Trying to impress your assistant here, perhaps? No one is trying to steal your spotlight here, Mr. Sholmes. Trust me. As you rightly say, though it appears at first glance that all the furniture in the room is upside down, this unassuming slender vase is standing keenly to attention. And unlike the large safe, there is nothing affixing it to the floor. And it's the exception that breaks the rule. In short, much as it pains me, the gravity in this room was never inverted at all. My deepest sympathies for your loss. Oh, poor Mr. Sholmes. But the show must go on, so let us continue with our deductions. Now that we know that this contrivance is not in fact an anti-gravity device, there remains but one other possibility. You don't say. Someone deliberately turned over every piece of furniture in here. Which might sound obvious, but leaves one mystery very much unsolved. Namely, why would anyone choose to do that? Quite, and naturally there is an explanation. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the anti-gravity device. He's absolutely determined that this device must have something to do with it, isn't he? I'm afraid the lure of an exciting scientific explanation is too strong. Well, there's no doubt that somebody did this. Somebody turned all this furniture over. So whoever it was must have had a reason. I'm afraid nothing comes to mind at all, though. Well, let's look around and see if the answer presents itself. No, Princess, you're amazing. I think I'm just normal, but thank you, Gov. Welcome in. Safe combination. Look, there's something written on the underside of this armchair. Oh, yes, safe 432582. Safe. As in safe and secure? As in secure lockable box, I think. Admittedly, more likely. Well, there is a large safe bolted to the floor on the other side of the room, so yes. So you mean this number would let us open it? I wonder why it's written here, though. That's probably that, but we can look around some more, I guess. We've already established that gravity wasn't actually reversed in here, haven't we? In other words, this isn't an anti-gravity device at all. Which makes me very curious to know what sort of device it is. But I think, for now, it's clear that we're looking for an answer elsewhere. Did you actually tweet to buy Jump King while streaming? Hey, it was on sale. It's on sale for 50% off, okay? The world needs to know. The world needed to know that Jump King is on sale and you can buy it for 50% off right now. Okay? I just needed to let the people know. Yes, the reason why everything in here has been turned upside down is because of the safe combination. Precisely. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that you had a very similar experience once, did you not? Yes, last year. When I bought a lottery ticket, I noted the ticket number down on the inside cover of a book, just in case. That's it. For people are forgetful souls at heart and always make a written note of important information. Just keeping the ticket itself safe would be more sensible, I think. And what, pray, happened next, Mr. Naruhodo? She's addicted? I'm not addicted. It's just my favorite game and I love it so much. When the day of the draw came round, I had forgotten which book I'd written the number in and had to turn my room upside down to find it. That's it! For people are forgetful souls at heart and always forget where they've noted things down. Not if you always note things in the same place. I actually won the second prize, you know. But I couldn't remember which magazine I'd slipped the ticket into, so I had to turn my room upside. Thank you, Mr. Naruhodo, but I believe I've proved my point now. Which is that a very similar scenario has clearly unfolded in this room. Finding himself requiring access to the safe, the occupant of this room needed the combination code. He remembered that he'd written it on the underside of a piece of furniture, but forgot which one, leading to the state in which we now find the room. Yes, Mr. Drebber overturned all the furniture in here, in a desperate hurry to locate the combination code that would unlock the safe. Okay, you know what everyone needs to do? Everyone needs to retweet my thing and be like, look, Nexile, it's your biggest fangirl, okay? Just call Nexile out and be like, look, the streamer, this girl, she loves Jump King, and you should maybe partner with her more on more Jump King related event. I'm just saying, okay? Maybe, you know, this is my community. Hello, help me here. Or she's a lich and each copy of Jump King is her phylactery. How dare you, Fuzz? It's not, I'm not a lich. It is not my phylactery, as you so put it. Okay? Now, let us consider the next conundrum. What was our engineer friend's aim? Indubitably, the greatest clue we have to explain his actions is above our head. Yes, how is it possible that there are footprints all the way up there on the ceiling?
A question whose answer will lead us neatly to the truth, my dear madam. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby skylight.
Well, if a change in the direction of gravity can't explain it, then how did those footprints get there?
Yes, I feel as though that particular mystery has just become even harder to solve.
I can't think of any other way to explain it at all. Oh, life was so much simpler in those halcyon days when gravity could be reversed.
It was minutes ago, and those halcyon days never existed in the first place.
Well, I suppose we must simply put our faith in Mr. Sholmes and observe the area in more detail.
Putting our faith in Mr. Sholmes is what gets us into these situations in the first place. Oh, balloon. This is a gas balloon, isn't it? It's tiny, but it does seem to be a real balloon.
Yes, I think you're right. I think it's helium that's keeping it up.
A green gas balloon. Why does that seem to ring a bell with me?
If you can see, there are footprints on this balloon too. Look.
Oh, yes, surely that's a clue, isn't it? Though what it tells us, I'm not sure. Is this the only thing in the room? Skylight. It looks like these are the only windows in the room. In other words, if you wanted to escape without using the door, these skylights would be the only way.
Yes, that's true, but even so...
And right next to the only escape route, we notice some telltale footprints.
Nevertheless, as we've said many times now, gravity can't explain how they got there.
But powerful springs in the soles of the man's shoes could.
Have you been having strange dreams as well, like Mr. Sholmes?
I guess, do we want to present this balloon?
Take that!
I don't think that's right. Being able to fly freely in the sky, that has been mankind's dream for centuries. And of course, the balloon is the invention that made that dream come true. Mr. Drebber, clearly a man of dreams, used the balloon to ascend to the ceiling and plant his feet on the roof. Take no pleasure in delivering bad news, but the undeniable truth is it's clearly too small. Knew you were going to say that, my dear fellow. Then you are twice the fool. If people could fly in such small balloons, why would anybody ever manufacture larger ones? I despair of your lack of common sense at times, Mr. Naruhodo. You know what this reminds me? It's probably a good time to save because we haven't saved in a very long time. Okay. Wait, what could it be? What could be the reason that there are footprints on the ceiling? Those footprints up there on the ceiling really are a puzzle, and as they're so close to the skylight, it really is very hard to believe the two are unrelated. But perhaps we need to approach this from a different angle. What am I seeing here? Shoe? It's hard to believe, but there's a shoe up there, look.
Oh yes, and there are more footprints on this little balloon too. Perhaps the shoe was thrown up there and became lodged, do you think?
If so, then judging from the number of footprints, it must have been thrown up several times. Why would anyone be throwing shoes up at the ceiling, though?
Oh dear, that's beyond me, I'm afraid.
Do you think it's the shoe?
Take that!
It is the shoe, okay. The reason there are footprints on the ceiling is because of the nearby shoe. And on closer inspection, there are clearly footprints all over the balloon as well. In other words, the aim was never the skylight at all, but the balloon.
But for what purpose?
A green balloon. That seems somewhat familiar data.
Ah!
It was a piece of green...
Oh, it was a piece of a green balloon's envelope that Mr. Naruhodo and Iris found at the scene.
And inside the green balloon that Master GAAC claimed he saw above the stage when the incident occurred was the second bird cage, the crux of the whole instantaneous kinesis deception.
You mean to say... If we assume the balloon in here is a model of the one used on the day, there is a strong possibility something may be concealed inside it. Something our absconder was desperate to retrieve before making a hasty getaway. But the balloon's out of reach. Hence why he resorted to a projectile, namely the shoe. Most probably, Drebber intended to tear a hole in the envelope by assailing it with a shoe. However, his efforts were thwarted when the shoe itself became a prisoner of those lofty heights. Oh dear, we desperately need to examine that balloon. If only there were some way we could see inside. You may recall that I found this in the room earlier, which I believe offers a solution. Oh, the rope! To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this rope? I don't think that's the right tool. Mr. Sholmes has managed to bring the deduction back to the rope. Alright, I have to admit, that was clever. So we just throw the rope up to the balloon and then pull it down to us on the ground? Which is much easier said than done, I feel. And could take us a very long time as well. True, perhaps we need a more surefire method. In fact, we already have one, of course, don't we? Oh, we have the crossbow and the arrows, right? Yeah, okay. I'm gonna present the crossbow.
Take that!
To reach the intended destination, what better tool than this crossbow? That was found at the scene, in fact. And in all likelihood belongs to Mr. Drebber. If the man had only brought it away with him that day, he could have avoided losing a shoe at such a critical time as this. So, shall we? Your curiosity is deeply stirred, no doubt, my dear fellows. What is it that Enoch Drebber has hidden inside that balloon? Bam! Bop! Ah! What the? A waxwork? Indeed it is. A waxwork head inside a metal mask. A mask that is shut tight and fastened with a strong and quite impenetrable lock. So we can't see the face inside. That means... Just a moment. This is the head of a waxwork model? Does that mean... Oh goodness! I see you've joined the dots, Miss Susato. Excellent. Of course, a headless waxwork model. The case of the abducted Madame Two-Spells model that you largely solved. It was only the head of the killer that was still missing. Indeed, it was. But I believe Madame Two-Spells will now have to settle her sizable account with me. This, as you have now surmised, is the head of the infamous professor. Yes, but why is it here? This conclusively confirms my suspicions. The man responsible for stealing the professor from Madame Two-Spells and returning it sans tête earlier today was none other than Enoch Drebber. This is incredible. Professor Hairbane's case and the waxwork abduction they're inextricably linked by Enoch Drebber's workshop. Stolen from Madame Two-Spells special exhibit. Wax. I can say wax. Waxwork. Well, it appears our logical pleasure cruise has come to an end, my dear fellows. All that remains is, yes, to speak with the architect of this adventure. The architect? You mean Mr. Drebber? As it seems quite impossible that he escaped via one of the skylights, obviously the man must still be here in the room. What? And his location should be abundantly clear. If you simply reflect on the journey we've made together during this deduction. Enoch Drebber is right here, somewhere in this room? So, Mr. Naruhodo, will you do the honors? Yes, of course. Mr. Drebber's hiding place must be the wardrobe? Must be the wardrobe, right? Cupboard? No. Wardrobe? It can't be the safe. There's no way a man would lock himself in the safe, right? Nope. All right, Mr. Drebber, come out! Oh. Not there, Mr. Naruhodo. But I don't understand. You could always climb inside yourself. Okay, let's save. Save. Now think of something else, thank you very much. What other options are there? So there's the cupboard. Where could Mr. Drebber be hiding? I'm sure that we've already come across a clue that reveals the answer, you know. So we deduced why all that furniture in here was upside down, wasn't it? That gave us the answer, I'm sure. 'Cause he wanted to look for the safe? There's no way he climbed in the safe, right? Why would you? Okay, well, I'm just gonna present this, but like that doesn't make sense. He locked himself in the safe? Who's gonna come unlock him? That was stupid. Before we gained access to this back room, we heard noises from in here, which tells us that the engineer was still in the building at that point in time. He was in fact searching for the combination to his safe. And pressed for time, he made no attempt to right the furniture that he overturned in the process, from which we can deduce that his search for the combination happened very recently indeed. In summary, Mr. Enoch Drebber is, at this very moment, inside the safe. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this topsy-turvy puzzle. So, Mr. Naruhodo, I think perhaps it's time we ended this game of hide and seek, don't you? By opening the safe, you mean? What else? Let's see. The combination was 1, 4, 3, 2, 5, 8, 2. I knew that. All right then, here goes. Why would you... What if no one found you? You found me. Interesting. Is he made of parts? Is he human even? Right then, sir. Mr. Enoch Drebber, I presume. How do I voice him? Correct. You'd better start talking. You tricked Professor Hairbrain with that bogus machine you built. And you shall have to explain the theft of the waxwork from Madame Tuspel's as well. Whilst I would be delighted to answer your many questions. Personally, I would advise that you deactivate my little parcel first. Deactivate? Your parcel? I refer, of course, to the time bomb. I left it in a most prominent position. Huh! Love this guy's animations. Is he a robot or a human? I'm giving him a robot voice, but I'm not sure. Ha, ha, ha. I see. Stunned silence. You're all gearing up to die with me, then.
No!
He's a guy? He's a guy? He's just a guy? He's not a robot?
Mr. Sholmes, with only 7 seconds to spare.
That was too close for comfort. I've got 1 foot in the grave already. Are you trying to help us get a killer or get us killed? Human. Quirks of a robot. He's just got clockwork parts. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't know how to voice him then. I don't know how to do a man voice. I'm not a man.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions can be completely life-altering, can't they?
Well, my dear fellows, that was a close shave. The resemblance to an anti-gravity device is really quite startling, I must say.
Anti-gravity devices don't exist.
Ooh, I wouldn't push it, Mr. Sholmes. He's just got clockwork parts. Technically a cyborg. I see. Alright, well, let's talk to him. What on earth happened in here? You found me, haven't you? No need to screw me down any further. Everything in here is precisely what it seems. Yeah, well, we'll be giving it a thorough going over. Don't you worry, Drebber. What fails to click with me is how you were able to locate my workshop. That I was not expecting. When I heard whistling from the other room, I knew it was time to bolt.
Whistling?
Ah, that would have been me.
Oh!
For some reason, I woke in fine fettle today. No words, just tightly squeezed chips. Clearly, I must have a screw loose, though, as I couldn't remember the combination for the safe. And another one loose, as I couldn't remember on which piece of furniture I'd written it down. We also found a rope over by the wall. Yes, I had hoped to exit through the skylight, but sadly the rope was too short. So I then set about searching for the combination code to open the safe. And burning the incriminating blueprints, don't forget. Regrettably, though, you failed to retrieve the head from the balloon among the rafters. And after that, you hid yourself inside the safe? Having first set this parcel ticking. Well, I had no intention of being nailed by the police. Got a death wish, have you? Hiding right beside a ticking time bomb. Please, why do you suppose I chose to hide inside the safe? It's no ordinary safe, it's specially designed. A dynamite explosion wouldn't leave a scratch on it. So, in fact, the safe was the only safe place. Precisely. But once you'd climbed inside, you wouldn't have been able to get out again. I invite you to look more closely. The safe is fitted with a handle on the inside to allow the door to be unlocked from within. Ah, so it is. I had always intended to blow this place to smithereens in any case. I just wasn't expecting uninvited guests to come along and screw up my plans. Do you mean to say you were planning to blow us all up? No, that was unforeseen. What do you mean? Most people run, you see, when they see a ticking time bomb at their feet. Ah, I calculated the time required for retreat to a safe distance and set the device accordingly. But your seemingly endless discourse in here threw a spanner in the works. Is something wrong, Gregson? Do I have something on my face beside the usual eyes, ears, nose, and mouth? I think we have a fairly good idea of what's going on here now. But what about the 2 incidents you've evidently been involved in recently? Professor Harebrain's instantaneous kinesis experiment at the Great Exhibition, and the waxwork model you stole, which this head belongs to. That's no ordinary head, you know. That's the head of the professor. Clad in a mask with a lock so strong, I'm unable to open it safely to reveal the killer's identity. I've been considering carrying it around as protection. After all, that's enough. Doctor, what's going on here, Gregson? I'm sure you're aware that I have sole jurisdiction to investigate here. Yes, well, Dr. Scythe again, so the forensic investigation team are here. And you know full well this engineer is a key witness. Why are you allowing this lawyer access to him? If Lord Strongheart knew of this, you'd be finished. You lot, leave at once. My dear madam, there's no need for such a threatening tone, I assure you. After all, there's no way to greet an old acquaintance, is it, Dr. Scythe? They know each other? Hello, Sholmes. Thank you for the head pat, Fuzz. Mr. Sholmes knows Dr. Scythe? If it's protecting the machine next door that's causing such a sour expression on your face, you are quite misguided. Thanks for the pie, I guess. It's really nothing more than a shell. You get out. But of course, we'll show ourselves the door. I see you haven't softened at all. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? It would appear that our delightfully entertaining investigations have run their course for today. But Mr. Sholmes, in case you thought I'd gone soft, how dare you, Fuzz? Let us leave this place in the doctor's capable hands. I said get out now, all of you. Your presence here is not required either, Gregson. Understood. But I'll just say one thing before I head off. If it wasn't for this lawyer and his companions, we'd never have found this place, and the whole workshop would have been blown to bits. There was a time bomb set in here that this lot disarmed. Inspector. Something giving you a chuckle, has it, Drummer? Ah, so sorry. Didn't mean to offend. You're quite right, of course. You did disarm the time bomb, didn't you? Yes, you did disarm that one. Huh? What are you... That one? You mean... Uh-oh. 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 Where is this? Uh-oh. But they already investigated that, right? So we already have our clues from it. It was an hour later that we heard the news of the enormous explosion that ripped through the experimentation stage at the Great Exhibition. Professor Harebrain's invention and all its secrets were blown away forever. Interesting. I do? Okay, so I feel like that's a pretty good stopping point, actually. I think for now, we'll call it here. I'll try to schedule some more time next week so that we can do more of this. I do need to get in touch with Mizu so that I can see if he can come on to help me voice some characters so I'm not the one voicing all the characters. That will be like a nice little break for me. But thank you guys for coming in and hanging out with me. I really appreciate you all. Let's see who we can raid out to for the night. Perhaps someone relaxing, someone just, you know, doing a little relaxing stuff. Oh, Eldest is streaming. She's playing some TCG card shop, and I know we were talking about that. Make him voice the French characters. Oh, that would be quite funny. We'll see. Thank you for the idea, Floppy. Good luck with your thimble and slightly more complex, your video card. I know. Yeah, voicing is hard. It is. I need to take a little break because I do need to record some more later tonight. So we'll see. We're gonna go here. Because Eldest is streaming, and I did get to meet Eldest as well. She's lovely. You're gonna love her. She's really chill. We're gonna go raid into the Fin Fam. Their stream is quite special. So they are a family that share the same account, and they stream together. So yeah, you'll see different family members live from time to time. So they'll always have in their title, I believe, like who's live. But yeah, we're gonna go visit them. Elder's really sweet. I got to meet her on Sunday for, you know, some hot pot. So that was nice. All right, you guys. Lost, thank you so much for the raid in again, you guys. Tomorrow, no stream. The next time I'll be streaming is on Saturday evening. We'll be playing some Jump King. I'm gonna, you know, get my speed running fingers ready. I kind of want to try to get top 100 on Saturday, but we'll see. And then my plan is to raid into Mizu's like comeback stream, since it's his first time in a few months that he's been streaming. So I just want to support him, you know? So we'll be cutting stream once he kind of like gets ready to go live, I guess. Anyways, you guys, let me switch over to my stream ending here. As always, please be happy, please be healthy, but most of all, please be kind. Be kind to yourselves because you never know what a smile, hug, or hello can do for someone who's having a bad day. And please be kind to yourselves. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Get up and stretch your legs every once in a while because you never know, you know, you might get an embolism and then you would die. And we'd be all really sad. I would be sad. Your friends and family would probably be sad. Concho, hello. Thank you for stream. I enjoyed my lurk. Thank you so much for lurking. I really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you. I hope you enjoyed it here. I hope you liked all the voice acting. I appreciate you. I see you have Cupid's cute emotes. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. All right, you guys. Let's go say hi to Eldest. And I hope you guys have a very good night. Yeah. Stay healthy. I'll see you guys on Saturday. If not on Saturday, then maybe sometime next week. We'll play in more Jump King and more Great Ace Attorney streams for sure. Alright guys, love you. Good night. I'll see you guys all later. Take one last tuck from me. Let's tuck everyone into bed. Take this with you. When you go to bed, wrap yourselves up in tight little burritos. Alright, you guys? I'll see you all later.